Have you ever felt stuck, like your life isn't going the way you want it to? Maybe you've tried everything, new jobs, new relationships, even moving to a new city, but nothing seems to change. Well, what if I told you that the key to changing your life isn't out there in the world, but inside you? That's right. Today we're going to talk about one of the most powerful ideas that can completely change your life forever, the mirror principle. Now, this isn't about looking good in the mirror or fixing your hair. It's much deeper than that. The mirror principle is about understanding that the world around you is like a big mirror, reflecting back what's inside you. It's not about doing more stuff or trying harder. It's about becoming a different person on the inside. Think about it like this. If you want to become rich, you need to think and feel like a rich person first. If you don't change how you see yourself and money, you'll keep jumping from one thing to another, thinking the problem is out there. But the real change starts with you. This is big stuff, and it might sound a bit scary. You might have to face some things about yourself that you don't like. But if you're really ready for a big change in your life, this video is for you. I'm going to share with you how this mirror principle works, and I'll even give you a special exercise that I still use today to keep changing my life for the better. So, let's dive in and see how this mirror principle can turn everything you touch into gold. Okay, so what exactly is this mirror principle? Well, it's pretty simple. Reality is like a big mirror that shows us two things: how we feel about ourselves and how we see the world around us. In other words, what you see happening in your life is really just a picture of what's going on inside your head and heart. Let's break this down a bit. If you look at yourself and think, "I'm not good enough," guess what? The mirror of life will show you exactly that. You'll keep seeing things that make you feel not good enough. It's like the world is saying, "Oh, you think you're not good enough? Here's more proof." The same goes for how you see the world. If you think the world is a tough place where it's hard to get ahead, that's exactly what you'll see everywhere you look. The mirror of reality is like a really loyal friend who always agrees with what you believe. Now, here's the tricky part. We often try to change things on the outside without changing what's inside. It's like trying to make your reflection in a real mirror smile without smiling yourself. It just doesn't work that way. Instead of trying to force the mirror to show something different, we need to change what we're showing to the mirror. It's like when you're trying to get someone to do something. If you just tell them, "Don't do that," they might just want to do it more. But if you explain why it's not a good idea and show them a better way, they're more likely to listen. So, our goal is to change our lives by changing what we show to the mirror of reality. We need to change how we see ourselves and the world. The mirror will always show what we truly believe deep down, both about who we are and what kind of world we live in. Now that we know what the mirror principle is, how do we actually use it to change our lives? It all starts with creating a new picture of who you are and how you see the world. This might sound a bit strange at first, but stick with me. First, you need to get really clear about what you want your life to look like in the long run. Close your eyes and imagine yourself 10 years from now. What are you doing every day? What kind of person are you? What makes you excited to wake up in the morning? Once you have this picture in your mind, ask yourself, who am I being when I have all these things? What kind of person are you when you're living this amazing life? Are you confident, kind, hardworking? Write down all these qualities. Next, think about how you see the world in this future life. Do you see a world full of opportunities? A world where good things happen to you? Where people are generally kind and helpful? Write down this view of the world too. Now comes the fun part. You're going to create some powerful statements about yourself and the world based on what you wrote down. These are called affirmations. For example, you might say, "I am worthy of success," or "I am always learning and growing." For your view of the world, you might say, "The world is full of opportunities for me," or "Good things are always coming my way." Here's the key. You need to repeat these affirmations to yourself every day. Say them out loud, write them down, stick them on your mirror, the real one in your bathroom. The more you do this, the more you'll start to believe them. And remember, the mirror of reality reflects what you truly believe. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but what if I don't believe these things right now? That's okay. The whole point is to change what you believe. It might feel a bit silly at first, but keep at it. Your brain is like a muscle. The more you exercise it in a certain way, the stronger that way of thinking becomes. This exercise might seem simple, but it has the power to completely change your life. It's not about pretending to be someone you're not. It's about deciding who you want to be and then becoming that person from the inside out. Remember, everything takes time. Be patient with yourself. You're not going to completely change overnight. But if you stick with this, you'll start to see amazing changes in your life. Things that seemed impossible before will start to feel within reach. So take some time today to do this exercise. Figure out who you want to be and how you want to see the world. Create your affirmations and start repeating them every day. You've got the power to change your life. It all starts with changing what you show to the mirror of reality. Now that you know how to start changing what you show to the mirror of reality, there's something really important you need to understand. It's all about timing, and it's going to help you stay motivated when things don't seem to be changing as fast as you'd like. Here's the deal. In our minds, we can change things instantly. Just by closing your eyes, you can imagine yourself on a tropical beach or picture yourself as a successful business owner. In your mind, these changes happen in a split second. But in the real world, things work a bit differently. The world around us, what we call the physical world or the 3D world, doesn't change as quickly. It's like the difference between typing on a computer and writing with a pen. Typing is super fast, but writing takes more time. This is because the physical world is made up of solid stuff. Things like your house, your car, your job. These are all physical things that can't just disappear and reappear in an instant. They follow the laws of nature, which means changes take time. So what does this mean for you in the mirror principle? It means that when you start changing how you think and feel on the inside, you need to give the outside world some time to catch up. It's like planting a seed. You don't see the plant the very next day, right? But if you keep watering it and giving it sunlight, eventually it grows into a beautiful flower or tree. The same thing happens with the mirror principle. You start thinking and feeling differently, but you might not see changes right away. This is where a lot of people give up. They think, I've been saying these affirmations for a week, but nothing's changed. This doesn't work. But here's the secret. You have to hold on to your new beliefs long enough for them to show up in your life. It's like holding a pose for a photograph. If you move too quickly, the picture comes out blurry. You need to hold still long enough for the camera to capture the image clearly. Let me give you an example. Let's say you start believing that you're great at making friends. You repeat this to yourself every day. You start feeling more confident around people. But for the first few weeks, nothing seems to change. You might even have a few awkward social moments and think, see, this isn't working. But if you keep believing, keep feeling confident, suddenly you'll notice people responding to you differently. Maybe someone at work invites you to lunch, or you find it easier to strike up conversations with strangers. These changes were brewing all along, but they took some time to show up in your life. Here's another interesting thing that happens. Sometimes, just when things seem to be at their worst, that's when your manifestation shows up. It's like the darkest part of the night just before the sun rises. You might feel like giving up, and then suddenly, everything changes. But here's the tricky part. Once things start changing, you might get excited and stop focusing on your new beliefs. And then, because of the delay we talked about, things might start to go downhill again. It's like a wave, up and down, up and down. The key is to always stay true to your new identity and worldview, no matter what's happening around you. It's like surfing. You have to keep your balance even when the waves are going up and down. So remember this, changes take time. When you start using the mirror principle, be patient. Keep believing, keep feeling the way you want to feel, even if you don't see changes right away. Trust that the mirror of reality is working on reflecting your new beliefs back to you. It might take days, weeks, or even months, but if you stay consistent, you will see changes. This patience, this ability to hold on to your new beliefs even when things seem tough, is what separates the people who really transform their lives from those who give up too soon. So stick with it, keep believing, and watch as your life slowly but surely transforms to match your new inner reality. Let's talk about something really powerful that can change your life in a big way. It's all about what you focus on. You see, The mirror of reality doesn't just reflect your thoughts. It reflects the content of your thoughts. This might sound a bit confusing, but stick with me, because understanding this can make a huge difference in your life. Think about it like this. If you keep saying, "I hate my job," the mirror doesn't reflect the hate. It reflects the job you don't like. So guess what happens? You keep getting more reasons to dislike your job. The same thing happens if you keep complaining about bills or relationship problems. The mirror gives you more of what you're focusing on, even if it's stuff you don't want. This is why people who always focus on what they don't have seem to never have enough. They're stuck in what we call a scarcity mindset. On the other hand, people who focus on what they do have and what they want more of tend to get more good things in their lives. We call this an abundance mindset. So, how can you use this idea to change your life? It's actually pretty simple. Start focusing on what you want and what you already have. This might feel a bit strange at first, especially if you're used to thinking about all the things that are wrong in your life. But trust me, it works. Here's what you can do. Every day, take some time to think about the good things in your life. Maybe you have a comfy bed to sleep in, or friends who care about you, or a job that pays the bills. Focus on these things and feel grateful for them. Then, start thinking about what you want more of in your life. Don't just think about it in a vague way. Really imagine it. How would it feel to have that thing you want? What would your life be like? The more real you can make it in your mind, the better. When you do this, something amazing starts to happen. The gap between your current life and the life you want starts to close. You'll find yourself taking actions you wouldn't have taken before. Opportunities will start to show up that you might have missed before. Remember, the key is to focus on what you want, not on what you don't want. It's like driving a car. If you keep looking at the ditch beside the road, you might end up driving into it. But if you keep your eyes on where you want to go, you'll get there safely. So start today. Make a list of things you're grateful for and things you want more of in your life. Focus on these things every day. You'll be amazed at how your reality starts to change to match your new focus. Now, let's talk about something really important that can help you understand why some people seem stuck in the same situations over and over again. It's called the mirror cycle, and once you understand it, you'll have the power to change your life in amazing ways. First, they look at their life and see something they don't like. Maybe it's a job they hate, or bills they can't pay, or relationships that aren't working out. This is the observation stage. Then, based on what they see, they form an attitude or image about themselves and the world. They might think, "I'm not good enough," or "life is hard," or "I can't catch a break." This is the image formation stage. The mirror of reality then reflects this image back to them, creating more situations that match their beliefs. This is the reflection stage. Finally, they look at these new situations and say, "See? I was right. Things never work out for me." And the cycle starts all over again. This is why some people feel stuck in a loop, always experiencing the same problems over and over. They're trapped in this mirror cycle, and they don't know how to break free. But here's the good news. You can break this cycle. In fact, you can flip it around and use it to create the life you want. Here's how. Instead of starting with observation, start with the image you want to create. Decide who you want to be and how you want your life to look. This is like turning your back on the current reflection and creating a new one. Next, act as if this new image is already true. This might feel strange at first, like you're pretending, but remember, you're creating a new reality. Then, look for evidence that supports your new image. At first, these might be small things. Maybe you decided you're good with money, and you notice you made a smart financial decision. Celebrate these small wins. Finally, use these positive observations to strengthen your new image. Say to yourself, "See, I am good with money. Things are working out for me." This new cycle creates a positive loop. The more you focus on the good things, the more good things you'll see, which will make you believe even more in your new image. Now, here's something really important to remember. This doesn't happen overnight. When you start this new cycle, you might still see a lot of evidence of your old reality. This is because of the delay we talked about earlier. The physical world takes time to catch up with your new thoughts and beliefs. This is where a lot of people give up. They try thinking positively for a week or two, don't see big changes, and decide it doesn't work. But if you stick with it, if you keep focusing on your new image even when the old reality is still visible, amazing things start to happen. It's like turning a big ship. At first, it might not seem like anything is happening. But if you keep turning the wheel, eventually the whole ship changes direction. Your life is like that ship. Keep focusing on your new image, keep looking for evidence that supports it, and eventually, your whole life will change direction. So, start today. Decide on the image you want to create for yourself and your life. Focus on it every day. Look for evidence that supports it, no matter how small. Celebrate every bit of progress. And most importantly, don't give up. Keep at it and watch as your life transforms before your eyes. Now, I want to share something personal with you. When I first heard about all this stuff, the mirror principle, changing your thoughts to change your life, I thought it was nonsense. I mean, how could just thinking differently actually change anything in the real world? But let me tell you, I was in for a big surprise. I decided to give it a try, mostly because nothing else seemed to be working in my life. I was stuck in a job I hated, always worried about money, and my relationships were a mess. I figured, what did I have to lose? So, I started small. Every morning, I would look in the mirror, a real one this time, and tell myself, I am capable of great things. At first, it felt silly. I didn't believe it at all, but I kept doing it, day after day. Then, I started focusing on the good things in my life, even tiny ones. I had a roof over my head. I had food to eat. I had a few good friends. I started feeling grateful for these things. I also started imagining the life I wanted. I pictured myself in a job I loved, surrounded by positive people, with enough money to live comfortably. Again, it felt like I was just playing pretend at first. But then, something amazing started to happen. Little by little, things in my life began to change. It wasn't overnight. In fact, for a while, it seemed like nothing was happening at all. But I kept at it. One day, a coworker told me about a job opening in a department I was interested in. Before, I would have thought they'd never hire me. But this time, I thought, why not me? I applied, and to my surprise, I got the job. With my new job came new opportunities. I started meeting people who were positive and ambitious. My confidence grew. I started taking better care of my finances. Looking back now, I'm amazed at how much my life has changed. And it all started with changing how I saw myself and the world around me. The outer changes came after I made inner changes. Now, I'm not saying it was easy. There were plenty of times when I wanted to give up, when it seemed like nothing was working. But I kept reminding myself of the mirror principle. I knew that if I kept showing a new image to the mirror of reality, eventually it had to reflect that back to me. And you know what? It did. Things I used to think were impossible for me started happening. Opportunities one never would have imagined started showing up. It was like the universe was conspiring to help me once I started believing in myself. That's why I'm sharing this with you now. I've been where you might be right now, frustrated, feeling stuck, maybe even hopeless. But I want you to know that you have the power to change your life. It starts with you, with your thoughts, with the image you project to the mirror of reality. So, I encourage you to try this for yourself. Start small if you need to. Change one thought. Focus on one thing you're grateful for. Then build from there. Be patient with yourself and with the process. Remember, big changes take time. But I promise you, if you stick with it, if you keep showing the mirror of reality the image of who you want to be and the life you want to have, amazing things will happen. Your life can transform in ways you never thought possible. I know, because it happened to me. And if it can happen for me, it can happen for you too. Now that we've explored the mirror principle and how it works, let's bring it all together and talk about how you can use this knowledge to transform your life. Remember, this isn't just theory. It's a practical tool that you can start using right away to create real changes in your life. First, let's recap what we've learned. We know that reality is like a mirror, reflecting back our inner thoughts and beliefs. We've learned that changing our outer world starts with changing our inner world. We've talked about the importance of patience, because changes in the physical world take time to appear. And we've discussed the power of focusing on what we want rather than what we don't want. Start your day with gratitude. Every morning, before you do anything else, think of 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be big things. Maybe you're grateful for your comfortable bed, or the sun shining through your window, or the cup of coffee you're about to enjoy. This simple practice sets a positive tone for your day and trains your mind to focus on the good things in your life. Set your intentions. Take a few minutes each morning to think about who you want to be today. How do you want to feel? What kind of energy do you want to bring to your day? Imagine yourself going through your day with confidence, kindness, and positivity. This is like giving instructions to the mirror of reality about what you want it to reflect back to you. Use positive affirmations. Choose a few positive statements about yourself and repeat them throughout the day. Things like, I am capable of handling whatever comes my way, or I attract positive opportunities into my life, can be powerful tools for reshaping your self-image. Practice mindfulness. Throughout your day, take moments to pause and really notice what's happening around you. This helps you stay present and aware, making it easier to spot the positive changes that are starting to appear in your life. Look for evidence. At the end of each day, think back and find evidence that supports your new beliefs about yourself and the world. Maybe you handled a difficult situation well, or you received an unexpected compliment. These might seem like small things, but they're powerful confirmation that your reality is starting to shift. Visualize your ideal future. Before you go to bed, spend a few minutes visualizing the life you want to create. Really feel what it would be like to live that life. This helps reinforce your new beliefs and gives the mirror of reality a clear image to reflect. Be patient and persistent. Remember, change takes time. Don't get discouraged if you don't see immediate results. Keep practicing these steps consistently and trust that changes are happening, even if you can't see them yet. Now, let's talk about some common challenges you might face as you start applying the mirror principle in your life. Dealing with negative thoughts. It's normal to have negative thoughts sometimes. When they come up, don't fight them or feel bad about having them. Instead, gently redirect your focus to what you do want. It's like changing the channel on a TV. You're switching from a show you don't like to one you do. Handling setbacks. There will be days when things don't go as planned. That's okay. Instead of seeing these as proof that the mirror principle doesn't work, view them as opportunities to practice resilience. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I use this to grow stronger? Staying consistent. It's easy to be enthusiastic at the beginning, but you might find your motivation fading over time. This is normal. The key is to make these practices a habit, something you do automatically, like brushing your teeth. Even on days when you don't feel like it, do it anyway. Consistency is more important than perfection. Balancing action with belief. While the mirror principle is about changing your inner world, it's not about sitting back and waiting for things to magically happen. Your new beliefs should inspire you to take action. If you believe you're becoming more confident, for example, you might find yourself speaking up more in meetings or trying new things. Dealing with skepticism. You might encounter people who don't understand or believe in what you're doing. That's okay. You don't need to convince anyone else. This is your journey. Focus on your own growth and let the results speak for themselves. Remember, using the mirror principle isn't about denying reality or pretending everything is perfect. It's about consciously choosing where to focus your attention and energy. It's about taking control of your inner world so that you can create positive changes in your outer world. As you continue on this journey, be kind to yourself. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small it might seem. Every positive thought, every moment of gratitude, every time you choose to believe in yourself, these are all victories. They're all steps towards creating the life you want. And here's something really exciting to think about. As you change your own life using the mirror principle, you're also contributing to positive change in the world around you. Your new energy, your new outlook, your new way of being. All of these ripple out and affect the people around you. You might inspire others to make positive changes in their own lives. In this way, by changing yourself, you're also helping to change the world. So, are you ready to start this journey? Are you ready to take control of your inner world and watch as your outer world transforms to match it? Remember, You have the power to shape your reality. You are the creator of your life experience. And it all starts with what you show to the mirror of reality. We've covered a lot of ground in this video, exploring the powerful mirror principle and how it can transform your life. We've learned that reality is like a mirror, reflecting back our thoughts, beliefs, and focus. We've discovered the importance of patience, the power of focused attention, and the cycle of creation that we can use to shape our lives. But remember, knowledge is just the first step. The real magic happens when you take this information and put it into practice in your own life. Your journey of transformation begins now, with the very next thought you choose to think, the very next thing you choose to focus on. Start small if you need to. Change one thought today. Find one thing to be grateful for. Take one action that aligns with who you want to become. These small steps, taken consistently, will lead to big changes over time. And as you go forward, remember this. You are more powerful than you realize. You have the ability to shape your reality, to create the life you want. It all starts within you, with your thoughts, your beliefs, your focus. So, what will you show to the mirror of reality today? What image will you create of yourself and your world? The choice is yours, and the possibilities are endless. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of the mirror principle. I hope you found it valuable and inspiring. Now, it's time for you to take this knowledge and use it to create positive changes in your own life. Remember, your reality is waiting for you to shape it. So go out there and create something beautiful,